Hello everybody, my name is Benjamin Bloom. I come from the land of the ice and snow, namely Reading, and I have just witnessed Reading 1, Sheffield United 3 in sub-zero. What was my minus 3.5, only 6,700 or something at Reading. I'm very, very cold, but I survived the game and it was very eventful, as you will now find out. So, Reading lined up, Mannone in goal. There was a change immediately in this game, so I'm going to say what happened, because they switched around the players straight away and I'm trying to figure out the team shape then. So it was Mannone in goal, Moore, Ilori and Vandenberg centre-backs. McCleary did start, but he immediately goes off, so it ends up with Richards left wing-back and Gunter moves to the right wing-back. Clement and Kelly midfield. Bakuna, I think, started right wing back and ends up in centre midfield after that early injury, with Chris Martin and John Daddy Bodvarsson up front. Sheffield United also 3-5-2, so Blackman in goal, Basham, Stearman, O'Connell the centre backs, Baldock right wing back, Stevens left wing back, Fleck, Evans, Duffy in midfield, Clark and Sharp up front. So Sheffield United were 8th, and this was their game in hand to possibly go 6th after Chris Wilder completely buried his players after the Hull game, saying, well, he now knew that they weren't good enough to get into the playoffs. So we were going to find out how that kind of talk was going to work. Was it psychology, and was it going to work on his team? This is the 3rd time I've seen the Blades this year. They have already beaten Ipswich Town, my team, twice, once in the league, once in the FA Cup, and they're here in a couple of weeks. This is my 4th time seeing Reading. Reading fans, you're going to wish that I stopped coming, because I have seen you lose against Ipswich, draw against Cardiff, lose at home to Millwall, and now obviously lose at home today. Reading started the day in 18th, 4 points off the relegation zone. So as I said, McCleary runs down the right and seems to pull something after literally a minute of the game. He kind of hobbles on for a little bit. There's a chance while he is hobbling, Stevens goes down the left for Sheffield United. Duffy, good shooting position but well blocked. So then immediately he goes out, McCleary, and Richards comes in, hence that team I read out. And we can get on with the game now. So the Reading goal kicks, wow. So Reading famous, still persistent with these goal kicks. It's really icy and the ball's holding up, and Mannone tries one to Moore. This is on 6 minutes. Clark robs him right on the edge of the area, goes through and kind of panics and pokes a left-footed shot just wide. Really, really poor from everyone, really. Should have been 1-0, but these goal kicks, wow. Reading fans, tell me, do they ever work? Ilori, ridiculous back pass on 7 minutes. Clark is in again. Mannone stands up. They can't convert in the next phase of that attack. So you can see Reading did not play the conditions well for the first 10 minutes. I guess the instruction probably should have been, look, keep the ball away from your goal and settle in and find out how it's running in that level of kind of frost. But that did not happen. And on 10 minutes, quite predictably, because Sheffield United really dominated the opening of the game, they take the lead. It's a clear ball holding up in the ice. It's fairly clear at this point. So Clark takes up this position again in behind the right wing back. The ball gets to him. He puts a low curling cross in. It's a nice one, you know, curling round the back of the defenders. Sharp gets the first shot. He should score the first one. Mannone makes a good save, and he really reacts quickly to make the second save. It should probably be said that Vandenberg, who's a midfielder, is playing centre-back and is picking up Sharp at this point. He does not cover himself in glory. But well-deserved opening goal for Sheffield United. Clark was a very powerful runner. And they really just read the situation way better than Reading did with the frost as well. Corner to Reading, comes out to Clement, right footer. Blackman looked like he was just playing the cautious game here, making sure. Didn't look like he was going in, but no chances. Tips it around the post. Good play again by Clark. Lovely touch down and a ball through to Sharp. He's just offside. Tight call. He was clean through. If not, Clark started the game very, very well. He really had the measure of the Reading backline, and Sheffield United just got direct balls up to him one after the other, and he played it really well. Short corner, Duffy slides it to Evans, 25 yard. He spanks this one, just swerves away from the top corner. Pretty close, that one. On 30 minutes, this is really weird. So Clark pulls up front. He's running for the ball, and he kind of stops running, and he does that thing footballers do where he just waved at the bench and went like that. He knew something had hurt. So he goes off, and who comes in? Donaldson. But very strangely at the same time, I turn my head to the right, and Blackman in goal for Sheffield United is sat on the floor as well, and he goes off for more. So you'd think big damage to Chris Wilder's sort of chances personnel wise, 2 players going out. And what happened to Blackman? I would assume Clark pulled something. Obviously with my Ipswich hat on, Sheffield United come to Ipswich on Saturday week, so if that's a tear and not a pull, he walked off, so it's probably not a tear, but could make him doubtful for the next games, but he did walk off, like I say. So double sub there for Sheffield United on 30. Great move here down the left by the Blades. Crossed in low to Donaldson on the near post, but he gets blocked out. And on 43 minutes, this is a hell of a goal. I love this goal. The Blades are passing it around well after Bakuna gave it away. I think it was Buildup kind of flew in from right wing back. It's Fleck kind of orchestrating it. He gets it to Duffy. Duffy cuts inside, and so he's on the left of the goal. He's going to hit it right-footed, and it's one of those ones where you're just watching it, and Manone, full dive, good effort by him, but it's curling into the top corner. It's a great goal. It just looked beautiful. Really well deserved. Sheffield United dominated the first half. They deserved the 2-goal lead, and Duffy and Fleck were very good in centre midfield, especially after Clark went off. The direct ball was less on for Donaldson. He seemed a little bit less mobile than Clark did, and those two really stepped up to the plate there. Breakaway for Sharp on the right wing. He goes at goal. Maybe a few years ago, he might have had the pace to go in a bit more direct. Holds his run up, cuts inside, tries to do that thing where you cut inside and then shoot it with the next pace to try and catch the keeper out. Shoots it left-footed, just wide, could have been 3-0. So first half, Sheffield United dominated it. It was absolute men against boys. Like I say, Reading and Stam just misread the conditions totally. They should have just adapted in the first 10 minutes. But that said, conditions or not, ball holding up or not, Sheffield United were head and shoulders above. Lots of good movement from the front two into those wing-back holes. The centre midfield, Duffy, Evans, Fleck, all really good. And what you do get with Sheffield United, they gamble forward with one of their centre-halves coming forward with their wing-backs a lot. And they pressed better, they passed it better. They were far and far away the better side. Normally when you see 2 goals up at half-time, it's a bit of a freak, but not in this case. Sheffield United way better. But we start the second half, and immediately, well, 50 minutes, Reading, with their first kind of meaningful attack of the whole game, are going to get a goal back. So Basham takes a yellow for a foul on Kelly. Bakuna trots up, takes the free kick. It's a decent save by Moore, but he parries it out. Richards, the left wing back, runs in. It's a good finish by him. He really easy to slash that one over, but he gets his head down, half volley with the left foot into the roof of the net. I thought it was a bit of a lame goal from a Sheffield United point of view. I thought if the keeper, okay, makes the save, fair dues, but if he has softer hands, he pushes that around the post or at least on the floor, so it's a difficult shot for anyone following in to get it away. And it looked like he was only thinking about the save and not the follow. It wasn't an amazing free kick, so I thought maybe the keeper could have done better. Good finish, nonetheless. So if you're a Sheffield United fan, you're probably a little bit irked because you've had a great first half, and I always find it annoying as a football fan when the opponents don't have to do a lot to score, and Reading didn't have to do a lot to score, just a free kick and a rebound. Fleck with a big dribble at goal here. He goes in between two. He's taken out by Vandenberg right on the edge of the box here. Duffy, who scored that brilliant goal at the end of the first half, puts the free kick straight into the arms of Manone. Gunter crosses, difficult headed chance for Martin on 58, heads it over. Breaks to Sharp. Buildup runs past him. What a pass this is by Sharp. I didn't know he had it in him. Reverse through ball. Buildup's in on goal. Unfortunately, you'd want it to be Buildup passing it to Sharp, and Sharp shooting for goal the way he was finishing tonight. But Buildup goes in nonetheless. He swipes the right foot at it, and good save by Manone, but it needs to be on the floor and into the corners, and he puts it, you know, waist high, close to him. So easy save enough for Mannone, but good save nonetheless, one-on-one chance. And Reading go straight up the other end. Kelly goes into the box and it's a penalty. So if you're a Sheffield United fan, you're literally saying to yourself, how on earth, having dominated this game and conceded a free kick and a penalty, we could be back to 2-2 without really conceding a chance from open play at all. Quite a head scratcher, typical Championship stuff. Upsets Bakuna, stuttery run up, good firm right foot, a great save by Moore, full dive to the right. And if I criticised him for his role in the Richards goal, well, he made a great save there to stop that going 2-2. I must confess, as a neutral, I was sat in with the Reading fans and they were disappointed. 2-2 would not have reflected the way the first half went, but you get what you deserve, and if you can see 2, you can see 2. But the keeper makes the save. And then in this incredible 5-minute period, we get this ridiculous, controversial goal for 3-1. Now, I'm probably going to get pelters in YouTube comments if I don't get this bang on. I'm going to try my best based on what I saw. And please comment me if you were in the Reading stand or the Sheffield United stand behind the goal. What I saw was Liam Moore pulls up injured, the Reading centre-half, kind of sort of starts limping. The ball goes through to Mannone, the Reading goalkeeper. He looks to the ref to see if he's going to stop the game for Moore. He doesn't stop the game. Mannone seems to play a pass out to, it would have been Gunter, right wing back, and Gunter is not paying attention. The ball rolls out for a Sheffield United throw, and I think Mannone and some of the Reading players try to claim that they've deliberately kicked it out. From what I saw, he didn't deliberately kick it out. He kicked it to Gunter, who was expecting something to happen with Moore, and Gunter lets it go out. Everybody looks around to see if Moore's going to sort of sit down or anything, injured, and he doesn't. So Sheffield United take the throw in, and I think some of the Reading players are going to kind of play the, if we stop, they'll give us the ball back. Fleck takes the ball, he chips the diagonal ball through, Smart's in on goal, Billy Sharp's in on goal, and side foot volley rolls it past Mannone and into the goal. So it's a bit of a controversial one. I think, if I'm honest, I don't want to get pelters from Reading fans here. I think it's quite an easy card to play, the, oh, well, we kicked it out for you, you must give it back. Sometimes you see people exploit that role. One thing I did definitely see is when the ball goes out for the throw-in, the ref does shrug to the Reading players and say, well, look, you've given it back to them then. So I think his instructions were quite clear, so I would lay the blame at any Reading players who stopped and who didn't concentrate. Sharp by name, Sharp by nature, did concentrate. He makes the run through, Fleck plays the pass in, and he side foots it in the goal. And that really knocked the stuffing out of Reading. There's a big argument between the two benches. Mannone comes out kind of screaming, but it all seems a little bit like posturing from the Reading players, just to, you know, they've kind of let in a bit of a lame goal, and they're trying to make the scapegoat the fact that they gave the ball back, when I think if you watch that back, I don't know what they do. Look, I'm prepared to be wrong about that. I've only seen it once. If Gunter let it go out and they were kicking it out of play, then, well, the ref didn't seem to know, and he did clearly seem to say, look, play on, away you go. So that's my viewing on that. If I've got any of that wrong, let me know in the comments. Don't beat me up, I've only seen it once. Evans in for Bakuna, who missed the penalty. Clement takes a yellow. Smith comes in up front for Reading, and Laurie goes off. Reading go 4-3-3 at this point. The back three didn't really work for them today, especially with Van den Berg in there. Seems more at home in midfield, I think. And straight away, Donaldson's in behind again. It's a bit chaotic. These direct balls are just ripping Reading apart now from these good Sheffield United centre midfielders. The keeper comes out. Donaldson tries what I can only describe as a Michael Owen outside of the foot dink while you're running. Not quite as good as Michael Owen used to do it, because it dribbles just wide of the post. So you can see Sheffield United could have scored 4 or 5 tonight if they'd taken all their chances. Another counter for Sheffield United. Fleck gives it, gets it back, sidesteps, right-footed, drives it wide. And then strangely on 80 minutes, probably the best move of the whole night is by Reading. Kelly plays it long, Smith holds it up, goes out to Gunter, Kelly's run on, he re-receives it, pings it into Martin, swivels, would have been a great goal, but he puts it wide. The only real football they played all night, Reading. Leonard comes in for Duffy. Donaldson takes a stupid yellow for kicking the ball away. There's a deep corner on 83 for Reading, and Budvarsson, who was very quiet all night. Takes a touch, but his touch is not a good one, and he puts it wide. So the game ends 3-1. The narrative of the game was that Sheffield United dominated the first half. 2-0 was very fair at half-time. Not only did they deserve to be in front, they did deserve a cushion lead as well. And then in the second half, just balmy Championship stuff. Thought the keeper was a bit at fault from the parry for the free kick. Haven't seen that back. Good finish nonetheless. Sheffield United missed a chance at one end, and then Reading get a penalty. Kind of the football justice may have been done, because 2-2 would have just been weird, but you would have... You know, like I say, you can only blame yourself if you concede penalties and free kicks and whatnot. And then that strange goal, which I've tried my best to describe, but play to the whistle, keep going, and that's what Sheffield United did. I felt they deserved the win. If you're a Sheffield United fan, let me know in the comments. What did you think of Wilder's comments? They seem to have worked. You're back up into 6th place. Coming to Ipswich in a couple of weeks as well. Looking forward to that. Bristol City seem to be dropping off a little bit. So can you make the playoffs, Sheffield United fans? And do you think Wilder's comments are going to work in the long run? Star player for Sheffield United after 20 minutes, I would have said Leon Clark, who was really powerful and really troublesome for Reading in that opening period. Then at half-time, I would have definitely said Duffy, but at full-time, I'll say Fleck. I think he got 2 assists in that game and really orchestrated well. Reading fans, let me know in your comments what you think of that performance. I thought you were pretty bad, I have to say. When I've seen you before, you've kept the ball. I don't know why Barrow was on the bench. He's been good for you whenever I've seen him play. The standout player for Reading was only really one. It was Kelly, who set plays in the first half where Reading didn't really have anything, and in the second half he tried to get things moving. Do you think Stam misread the conditions at the start? They didn't seem to have accounted for the ball holding up at all. Not a lot of positives, and really that 10-15 minutes to start the second half was a little bit of an outlier in the game, because it was a half and half free kick and then penalty, but it could have been 2-2 and got you back. Reading fans, let me know in the comments. Serious fears of relegation? Could you go down? And where do you stand with Stam? And are you going to beat Ipswich in a few weeks when you come? So I'm going to see both of these teams again soon when they play Ipswich. But I've enjoyed my time here tonight. Please let me know what you think in the comments. Support either team. Support anyone. Let me know what you think. Give us a thumbs up if you enjoyed the review. Subscribe to my channel. The next game I will be at will be Ipswich v Hull. On Saturday. We've got a few to come, and then Ipswich Sheffield Wednesday on Tuesday, and then Ipswich Sheffield United again. So I'll be watching Sheffield United again in 2 weeks, so looking forward to seeing the Blades again, especially Fleck in midfield. Or should I say that, considering he's related to an ex-Norwich player? Anyway, follow me on Twitter at Benjamin Bloom. Thank you for watching. I've warmed up now, and I'll see you again very soon.